Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
Did you know you can join the same podcast network trusted by superstars like Mark Maron and Anna Faris? That's right. If you want to join the best of the best in podcasting, join or switch your podcast to Acast in just a matter of minutes. We've got the best tools to create, grow, and make money from your show. And that's why more than 92,000 shows love Acast. Join Acast with a 3-month free trial to our paid plan using the code JOIN. Just visit go.acast.com/join. Acast. We're the home of podcasting.
Hello. Welcome to Fat Mascara. I'm so happy to see you here.
I'm happy to see you all too. I feel like we're Mr. Rogers, like I see Amy and I see Alana.
I see Jose. I see Oliver.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fat Mascara. I'm Jen, by the way.
Hi, I'm Jess. What's going on?
Well, I've broken a seal on a thing that I did not want to do for so long. And I finally bit the bullet and I did it because my dear best friend, Jessica Matlin, likes this thing. Now you know where I'm going with this.
I at first, I didn't know where you were going because he's like, broken the seal, didn't do it. I don't know. I was like, it can't be get a tattoo.
I don't know what I'm saying either. Guys, I watched a Real Housewives episode.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody in my world loves the show, loves everybody
it's very
on the
polarizing.
shows.
I wouldn't say it's everybody. It's very it's like
every
it's like
party I've
Marmite,
been to this summer, like people are into Real Housewives. Not particularly the new. So this is why I started. Okay, Real Housewives of New York. I am Jenna Lyons fan. I've been to her house. I've interviewed her a bunch of times. She's been on our show. So I was like, okay, this is weird. This is like somebody I sort of know who's now on the show. This is going to be the reason to get me to start watching
Your worlds are colliding. Yeah, it's getting closer. It's getting closer to your
However, I don't know if I'm going to keep watching this show.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. I've actually only seen the first episode of this season. I've only seen the first one.
So my friends, hey, Chris and Mike, who are very into the show were like, that's the season you're starting with. They were not happy that I waited for this season because apparently the real diehard fans are like, this isn't giving the dirt, the juice, the fun. So far, every plot line seems to be about a cheese plate or caviar. I was like, you're boring when you got to talk about food.
Or catch the I'm not being clear. Like the first episode was about like which restaurant somebody did.
Oh yeah, it's all food related, which like to me says that there's not much else going on in this friend group who clearly aren't really friends, let's be honest. So they had to like manifest drama over restaurants and food. Anyway, I get it. I can see why. Like I like the clothes. I like looking at their houses. Talk to me, DM
I'm listening
me.
to Just Be. I'm listening to Bethany. I'm like diehard Bethany Frankel fan.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Bethany's Rewives podcast. It's weird. Like I don't listen to actually that many podcasts, which is weird. But I love Bethany's podcast because she is like everything you're saying is exactly what Bethany is saying. And she's not some like sick person who's like rewatching like new Housewives, like what's going on. She just has like, she talks about a lot of really interesting different things on her show, but she did do a touch base with like the new season. And what she's saying is like what you're saying.
Oh, so Bethany and I agree. So maybe I should go watch Bethany's seasons.
They are classic because I know anyone who's listening to this who's not into Housewives is like, I thought I came to the wrong show.
You can listen on 4-speed, 2.5 speed.
Yeah.
Spotify lets you have like 7-speed now. Just,
oh my God. Basically, what was brilliant about the first few seasons of Housewives is they didn't have any context for what the world of Housewives would be. So they didn't have agendas or they didn't know the movements of like, now we're going to have a fight. Now we're going to go on a trip. Now this is what we're supposed to wear. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't know.
It was more like the MTV House one, the original reality show where like they just followed their lives and whatever drama came up.
The
came
real
up.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like there was the word is not innocence, but like Bethany was actually broke when she came on. She was making little muffins and selling them. There was an episode of her in Whole Foods hawking her muffins.
Wait, pause. I thought the whole point of this was that it was like fabulously rich people are the cast members.
There were some rich people, but Bethany was the friend of Jill Zarin, and she was like, "Oh, I actually don't have I don't have a husband, I don't have a kid. I'm trying to make it in this world." And she was a legitimate friend of Jill Zarin.
Okay. And why are they called Housewives then?
It's like a misnomer.
Because she worked. All these ladies work.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Bethany talked about that, how like she's like there was some shade thrown at like, oh, we're not the original Housewives. We actually work. When actually, all of them in the beginning. I mean, you could probably. I'm sure some people are going to be poke holes in my argument, but a lot of them did work. Like Ramona, you can like say what you want about Ramona Singer, but she did have like a real business that she had a jewelry business, and then she like had her skincare business. But like a lot of these women did work, and like Bethany Frankel is a workhorse.
And now years later, the new cast kind of knows how it's supposed to go, and they set up these like scenes, like come over for cheese and wear khaki or whatever it was.
Exactly, like they're kind of cosplaying. Like people know what the beats they're supposed to hit are. Like now I say a funny one-liner.
Yeah, it's a little boring for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fine. It's not.
Wasn't I texting you and they said now we're watching a Toad documentary instead? Was that you that I texted?
Yeah. No. You said you're watching. Yeah.
She texted me back like, "How's it going?" I was like, "We've switched on to the BBC and I'm back on a Toad documentary that's making me much happier. Real life nature drama."
I don't think it's representative of. I think you have to like accept it for what it is. I'm gonna keep
watching for what it is. I want to see their faces. I want to see their hair, their makeup.
Yeah, I really do like Jenna Lyons, and I think I get why she did it, but I wouldn't call it Housewives. I'd call it like a different show. I'd call it like
my Instagram feed come to life with more built-in purchasing branded content. Sure. Anyway,
it's just so different.
If you love Housewives, I'm trying, guys. I really am. And if you don't, you know where I'm coming from. But in something that's much more comfortable for me this week, I got to be Dr. Sullivan. I got to go to Allergan medical training. It was just for media, so like clearly it wasn't real training, guys. But I got to inject filler into a face, not a human face. They have these fake faces that they use when they're teaching doctors and nurse injectors how to inject. So Dr. Terrence Keeney from DC was there, and he was my group's leader. And I have never had more fun in 2 hours in my life.
I saw a picture of you and Tori Kirby like next to each other with his face. And I thought that you guys were doing like an AI thing. I thought that it was like an AI.
No, that was a real wax and plastic face with actual bone structure underneath, so that when I was putting this filler. The reason they did this, by the way, was because they wanted to point out, like, look how much you don't know and make sure you tell your readers and listeners about how you need to go to somebody who knows what the heck they're doing.
That's very good. That's very responsible.
That's what they were going for. And
that's awesome.
Meanwhile, my takeaway was like, I'm ready to inject after 2 hours of training. No, not at all. They have this like whole group of fillers now over at Allergan, like the more firm ones for the jawline. There's the movable ones for your lips. Like when you go to the doctor, Jess and I know this, like you don't just sit down and say, give me the Voluma XC. No, you go and you say what's bothering you and you have a discussion with your injector, and maybe filler's the answer, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. So they were just trying to point out that this is not like you walk in, or what do you say, Jess? You don't go to the dentist and tell them where to drill.
Oh, I didn't say that. Paul Frank said that.
Oh, did he? I've been walking around town crediting you with that. Like I've said that multiple times.
That was a Paulism.
But it's so true. We do go in and we're like, oh, I want lip filler. I heard about XYZ. Instead of saying, hey, I look at my face in the mirror and I feel tired, and letting the experts say. Anyway, my takeaway was that that's how you should approach the whole thing if you're interested in injectables.
So was it just filler? Sorry if you said this. Was it just filler or was it Botox too?
No, just filler, because you can...
Oh, so you could see the real result.
Yeah, it's physical. Botox, as you know, neuromodulator, freezes the muscle. You inject it in the muscle. Fillers, you put different places within the depth of your skin. The filler I got to inject was their newest one that is FDA approved for the jawline. And so I had to inject deep enough to get to the bone because I was trying to build bone structure on this guy's, I named him Sam, on this guy, the fake mannequin's jawline because he was like a little bit saggy jowly and needed to build up his bone structure.
Did anybody do like a horrible job? No names, but did anyone like totally screw
Me,
up
it looked like all lumpy and messy. It was not good. Like, who are we kidding? I felt like I pretended well. Let's just say.
I thought you would be a good injector. Was anybody a really good injector?
I am really good with my hands and I'm very crafty and I'm scientific, but like this just proves that you need hours and hours of training. Like you're modeling with clay. You're building up a person's face. It's not just like doop, 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 magic button. Here comes the face. Like it's art. So
you need somebody who is both like, it's so many skills. It's technical skill. It's artistic vision.
Yes. A visual eye. They have to back up and look at your face. I'm talking filler specifically. I don't know if toxin, maybe less so because you hit the 11s between the brows, NBD. Probably all the injectors listening are like ready to shoot me.
I don't know. I don't think it's NBD.
Elena in Texas, our nurse injector friend, sorry. Yeah, but the point being, these products have gotten really advanced, but the way they look in your face all depends on who you go to and how much training they've had, truly.
Well, I'm thinking back to the thing you said, I think you were just being like silly with the NBD thing, but I'm thinking like, you know when somebody is really over-injected, we just spoke to somebody about this the other day, like how you were just like, if you really over-inject in the forehead, like
Joanna Check on Friday's episode. Yeah.
Yeah, if you over-inject in the forehead, then like it has repercussions on the rest of your face. I think you need to be somebody who is really thinking about your patient, just like the physics of that stuff, but they also thinking about them in the long term. You need to be somebody who's thinking not just in the moment, but somebody who's thinking like 50 steps ahead.
Dr. Kinney was telling me he takes pictures and he wants people to keep coming back for years. Like you want to build a relationship with your injector so they know.
That's the other piece that I was like not articulating. It's like not only 50 steps ahead, but also has like that caring factor of like, I actually want to build a relationship with this person. What's going to happen to them? Not just like, you look baller and then like send them out with like a slap on the back. What's happening to this person's face?
Right.
Not just swiping a credit card.
Well, and also on the patient end, I would say, if you liked who injected you, you should keep going to the same person because they know what they put where and they can make like a future plan instead of just like, you need a haircut and you quick pop in. And it's the same with the haircut. You make a relationship with the person so that you evolve, your face can evolve. I cannot believe I'm talking about like a medical service and injectors this casually. 10 years ago, if you told me this is how I'd be talking about filler, like it's a paintbrush, I wouldn't have believed you, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. I'm a doctor now. Let's do our beauty podcast.
Do they let you keep your scrubs? Because I saw you in scrubs and I thought it was just one of your little like jumpsuits. I thought
one of my friends who's a nurse is like, were they the figs? Were they the good ones? And I was like, they're really comfy. They're really comfy. Like, I get why you guys wear these all day.
They're figs. I saw an ad on the subway for it once. I was like, that's look really cute.
I think that you have to purchase whatever your practice tells you to purchase.
Oh, okay.
But Dr. Keeney did pick our color. So he picked teal for our team. So I now have teal scrubs, which is a great winter color for me. Colorguru.com. It's a great winter color for me. So I'm very happy about that. Yes.
Cool. All right. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. I feel like we could end up talking about this stuff all day.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm laughing because we were just trying to figure out what Jen's Housewives tagline would be.
I'm working on it.
Working on it. Okay, let's hit the news. All right, big news for the beauty market, for the beauty luxury market. Prada Beauty is back. If you remember, if you were born before, sorry, I'm not doing this, but basically Prada Beauty existed before. Google it. They came these little tiny paquettes.
You walked yourself into that math corner. Sorry, you did. I had nothing to do with it.
No, I don't like math. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
She realized she was going to have to do some subtraction live. I was like, and she was like, let me just pivot.
Like, you know, like that meme where there's like all like the little long division and like the woman's like that was me. And I was just like,
continue.
Absolutely not.
It happened years ago.
Yeah.
That's good enough. Okay.
I'm so mad at myself. I had some of those. Like I found them at my parents' house like a couple months ago and I threw them away. I was like, that's so dangerous. Like,
I'm actually not familiar with the original Prada Beauty line.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
So, Jennifer, you were working in beauty. There were these little paquettes. They were first of all, if this came out now,
skincare.
They would be
did
like
skincare.
shot dead because it's so like the antithesis of
No,
the
it was
moment.
skincare though.
Yes.
I absolutely remember the skincare. Now they're doing color cosmetics. Though.
Yes. But my point was with the skincare, it was all single use. And it was very travel friendly. But now we don't do single use plastics. Poo, poo, poo. No, no, no. Bad, bad, bad. But this whole thing is now color. And it's super interesting. Jen, we were having a light conversation about this offline. What do you think? It's all color.
To me, the most interesting part is that they partnered with Inez Marzat. I think Inez Alpha is what she's called online. They had their makeup artist, Lindsay Alexander. She's like the creative director for the makeup. But then Inez is a virtual digital artist. But she was equally as important in the creation of the line. She's the one, will you describe who she is? You feel like you've been following her work for a while.
So Inez Alpha did like a filter. What I know about her is she's done a lot of work with digital art, and she did a filter with Billie Eilish when Billie Eilish had that H&M collaboration a few years ago. She did like a Instagram filter that you could put on your face, and she just does a lot of work like in the beauty space. Check out her Instagram. It's very cool.
In augmented reality, she creates like skins for like video games and videos, but all in the digital space. She's a digital artist.
Yeah, that convergence. And it doesn't surprise me that Prada, which is like very much at the forefront of beauty and art, Prada's always aligned themselves with more of like an art fashion brand.
And futuristic
that they would see
sometimes,
themselves. Yeah, they would see themselves as an art beauty brand.
I'm picturing the slide. I think it's in their Milan offices. They have that silver slide that comes out of the building. And like Inez's work is like silver slides coming out of your face sometimes. Like it's just all very whimsical and futuristic and cool. So I don't know if the products you'll be able to buy are going to reflect that. I haven't seen the lineup yet, but I like that they involved an artist like that in the creation of it.
I think it's very cool. L'Oreal Luxe is the licensee. And I think it's going to be very different. And I think that is very kind of rare for beauty right now because I do think there's a lot of same. All right. Now, Jen, have you tried TikTok's aging filter?
No.
All right. Well, it's been out for a few weeks. I know there's been a ton written about it, but I just feel like we needed to address it on the pod since we have not yet.
Oh my God. I know exactly what it is and what it does to your face. I just was like...
You have it? You haven't done it yet?
I was like, I'm not going to look like that, so it's fine. I'm not even putting that on my face.
Okay. Well, I tried it because I just felt like, I don't know, maybe it was curiosities because there was just so much written. I had a few thoughts. One, I thought we were doing age positivity.
Hey, the filter comes neutral. It's the commentary that's negative. Like
Fair.
The filter's just showing you a neutral, they think version of what you're going to look like in 40 years.
Well, that's fair. Okay, the thing is neutral.
Actually, it doesn't even give a chronological number. It just is a generic aging filter. But looking at it, I think it adds.
I think, yeah, okay, it's neutral. But I also think that whoever created it kind of knew that they were going to be like stirring the pot because, well, they probably know that their median age of a TikTok user is young. But all of the conversation around it has really sort of bummed me out.
It pisses me off. People are like, oh my God, it's horrible. It's like, what? If someone gave you a scar on your face or someone gave you any other like change to your face that is not the normal Eurocentric beauty standard, you wouldn't be like, ew, oh my God, it's completely ageist the way that people are looking at that. There's plenty of people walking around that look like that who are lovely people. Sorry. Now I'm getting mean. Ugh.
No, it's fine. I got like a press release. I'm certainly not going to out the person who wrote it because that would be mean. It said new fear unlocked, and it was the filter. And I was like, what?
And then it tried to sell you some retinol.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Probably.
But I think I'm not blaming the publicist. I just felt like it's a response to all of the noise around it, which has been like, oh my God, it looks so scary. And like, it's just reflective of what that publicist is picking up from the internet and the conversation and, social media and everything. And it also just felt like I'm not young, but I'm not old. I'm not young and I'm not old. But I felt like how really cruel is all of this conversation to older people, like to make being old a stunt. And it felt really ageist. Like, again, the thing is neutral, but it just
No,
felt
no,
like it
I
felt like a
agree.
stunt. So at the same time, the same week I saw the Barbie movie that I was reading all of this. There's a scene in the Barbie movie where Barbie has a conversation on the side of the road after she's like feeling really wounded. She's like reflective of her whole like who she is in the universe and the real world and what she represents. And she sees an older woman and she looks at the older woman and she says, "Oh my God, you're beautiful." And the woman says, the older woman, she goes, "I know." And then Barbie starts laughing. And it's this moment, she's like laughing and like recognition and like a kind of like this older woman is like, "Yeah, I know I'm beautiful." And Greta Gerwig has said that she was asked to take out that scene. But she's like, "No, this movie cannot exist without that scene because the movie is really about that scene. It's about like the grace of all stages of womanhood and embracing who you are at every moment in our lives."
Why would they take out that scene? I wonder what the like script note was on that.
I don't know. But it felt
Probably some
like
ageist person that just saw themselves with the damn filter on and
it
freaked
just,
out.
all of these things happening at the same time. I was just like, I don't have like I can't wrap it up in a bow for you, but it just made me want to scream. I think everyone's moved, not everyone, but a lot of people were moved by that scene.
It's for every step forward, we take 2 steps back. There it is.
Yes,
raised,
thank you.
Wrapped up in a bow for you. And
That's why I've got a
as much as we
co-host.
try and push the needle on the beauty conversation, then this ageist filter comes back and we're right back where we started. Or we have body positivity and then there's like skinny ass bitches all over the place all once again. Like, no, not bitches. You know what I mean. But
yeah.
yeah. All right, moving on. Next item.
Next item. Okay. Estee Lauder getting sporty. So they're teaming up. It's a very surprising partnership, but I think it kind of, I don't know, it's interesting to me. Makes sense in a lot of ways. They're teaming up with Man United, or Man U, as it's sometimes called, the football club.
Or Manchester if you're not from Britain and don't follow football or soccer.
I think a lot of us speak footballese after watching Ted
World Cup?
Lasso. Well, yeah, Ted Lasso.
Oh, your
Okay.
reference was Ted Lasso, and I was like, "You mean the Women's World Cup that just wrapped?" Like, yes.
Why are they doing this? They think that the deal is going to help engage the club's extensive fan base in the Asia Pacific region. Their social platform reaches more than 250 million people in China alone, and we know how important this customer base is. And it's also going to reach a whole new audience of, Jen, who do you think they're trying to reach? Not just this geographical region, but
People that identify as men.
yup, you got it. Ding, ding, ding. So they're going to reach men, but also what I think is very interesting is that sports is getting way more in this whole beauty and fashion space. We know that LVMH is also a sponsor of the Olympics next year.
Yeah.
So I think that if you're like, this is weird, Estee Lauder, Man U, like what?
I think this is just that everything gets branded now. Like,
Well, that could be true
now
too.
that you can sell a sponsorship and put branded content into movies and like all of that, it was just a matter of time before sports teams started making money on that. Now that streaming has taken over and there's no commercials anymore, any way that a brand can infiltrate what we have as entertainment, they are. So if there's no commercials because you're all watching on Peacock or whatever, then the Man U dude better be talking about his collagen cream or have it like in the arena in the background.
Jen, I think that's a really fair point. I think that's
Thank
a really
you.
fair point.
That's what you come to Fat Mascara for. Thought leadership, context.
I think that's a fair point, but I also think that fashion, and I'm going to include Estee Lauder companies as fashion because they are like one of the few, always have been, and like remaining few fashion companies in terms of beauty. I think that area is so rarefied, and to have a stage like the Olympics or to have something that's so exclusive like Manchester United, to have that kind of stage, that's like a really huge
Big
platform.
value for them.
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course. Yeah, that's why they paid the big bucks to do it.
So anyway, interesting stuff. All right. And then finally, I was thumbing through, used to be the hard copy. Now I just look on the phone when I'm running errands. The New York Post. I have to read my page 6. Do you suffer from resting bitch face, Jen? What do you think?
I don't think I do, but I know that my doctor puts filler under the outer corners of my lips so that they
All
don't
right.
turn
Oh,
down.
Interesting.
But no, look, it's getting maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Well, now there's a cure.
What does the New York Post want me to do
Well,
about it?
I should have specified this wasn't a page 6 item, but I just have to say that like I still read the Post and I can't quit it. All right. Well, a lip lift just might be the thing, at least if you go to Dr. Andrew Giacono. So there I was, and there was this woman, this picture of a woman with this like kind of grim expression. But then the second picture of her, she had this little like knowing little cheeky smile. And a lip lift is what improved. I shouldn't say improved. I'm trying to be really neutral. That's like the hot word today.
Well, yeah.
That was the after. So I asked Dr. Giacono, I was like, okay, lip lift. I say this as an expert, a beauty expert.
Can you tell everybody what a lip lift is for those who don't know?
So it's a simple outpatient procedure, and it rejuvenates lips by shortening the space between the nose and the lip. And the common one that he performs is he takes it as the bullhorn lip lift, and that involves making an incision in the shape of a bullhorn just beneath the nose. A tiny strip of skin and tissue is removed, and the muscle is tightened, and the upper lip is raised to its new position. So, Jen, it's kind of what you and I talked about a little while ago, which is that we both think that the length between our nose and our upper lip is getting longer with time.
It absolutely does. That's just how the face ages. But I think it's one of those things that's very subtle that you don't look at on your own face. But if someone were to make that area shorter, you'd be like, wow, that makes a big difference. Like, yeah, my lower lip is definitely coming. Think about also the older you get, the more your bottom teeth show when you talk than your top teeth.
Oh, it totally happens.
There's a good example of how your lip lowers itself. If you have resting bitch, of course the Post had to make it about resting bitch face.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's like I feel like it's so kind of anti-woman. It's so sort of anti.
Well, they're not known for their neutral headlines.
Yeah, exactly. So and it's like.
You clicked on it, didn't
they're
you?
They're like, I know. That's why I kind of hate myself. Basically, I said, well, what about it makes people look less cranky? Because I said, are people coming into your office?
Yeah, you might look more youthful, but that's not going to make you look less, right?
Yeah, I said, are people coming into your office? Like Dr. Giacono saying, I have resting bitch face. I look cranky. And he said, no. He said that they just feel like they sometimes come in and say, like, I don't really look my best. I don't look that happy. They may come in for a number of reasons, but sometimes he will suggest a lip lift as part of a greater facial rejuvenation that involves multiple procedures. And I said, well, what is the lip lift doing? And he said, well, yeah, it's going to shorten that space that does, he said, lengthen with time as you get older. And he said, it's all about the corners of the mouth. They are no longer turned down and they start to get
it also gets that part of the musculature. Okay, that makes sense to me. So you don't have frowny face. Everything's lifted up slightly and the outer corners are not downturned. That I could see looking less mad because I've heard people say they feel like they look like they're unhappy just because the outer corners of their mouths turn down, even when they're happy and just neutral.
Right. So it's like you look pissed, but you're not. And when you have a shorter distance between your nose and your lip, he said your face looks more youthful and who knew this, less tired. I never thought about that. But anyway.
Great. Now I have something else to play with in the mirror when I look at my face. So I'm going to like lift up that little area a little bit. And
so I say this not to make people go crazy. I just thought this was such a classic. It was just such a, like, the headline made me laugh, but I actually learned a lot, and Giacono is one of my favorites. He always gives it to me straight, and now I know really what a lip lift does and what it can do, so
that's
good
the
stuff.
News.
Good, and that's all the news that is fit to print in one page in the Post, so actually a great story.
Let's go raise some wands.
This message comes from our friends at Honeylove. Jen, I am calling it. Honeylove is the shapewear for wedding season. It is summer, and a lot of us are looking for shapewear to go under our wedding outfits, but shapewear always gives me like agita because it's not always the most comfortable.
You're so right, but Honeylove is different. I have their bra. I have their Superpower short. I wish I had this on my wedding day. The Superpower short, it's like targeted compression, but it's not sausage casing. It doesn't roll down. You don't feel like you can't breathe or eat. You're sitting at a wedding and you want to enjoy yourself. You don't want to be thinking about your shapewear. That's the whole point of Honeylove. It was designed to move in and to work with you. Best of all, okay, picture it. The wedding is over. Maybe you rented a hotel room or you know, because you traveled for this wedding. Your partner has to like peel you out of the shapewear, not with Honey Love. You can slide that right off your own body because it is comfortable and easy to wear.
I love that. Just toss it off. Treat yourself to get the best shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/mascara. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off at honeylove.com/mascara. Hey everyone, this podcast is brought to you by Cash App. With tools for saving, sending, and spending, it's the all-in-one place for you to glow up your money and glow up your life.
I glow up my money with Cash App, but I also had a personal glow up. I don't know if you remember this. It was about, I would say 10 years ago now. I was just another brunette in New York doing my thing. And I said, it's time to let my white hair streak grow in. I thought it would give me a little differentiation, make me stand out from the crowd. So I grew in my white hair and it was as glowy, right? Like, come on, you thought it was a glow up for me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you went from like being like just another brunette on the street, nameless and faceless,
to like a superhero.
Jen.
No,
Jen,
I'm telling you, I walk down the street now, all the time people yell to me like, what's up, Rogue? Like from the, X-Men, What's up, you Storm? I feel like much more myself. I feel like I have a little bit of a superhero power.
Yeah.
And that is like kind of what Cash App does for your money.
So if you want to glow up your life, you got to glow up your money. Download Cash App in the App Store or Google Play. There's no hidden fees and a free-to-order debit card. It feels like a makeover for your finances. When you're getting married and planning a wedding, there's so many things to keep track of. It's a lot of fun, but it's also really overwhelming. But you know what can help with that? Our sponsor, Zola.
That's right. When you're getting married, it's not just about the big day. It's about all the days along the way. And Zola's here for all of them. I actually used Zola to help plan my wedding. And I remember the day Eric and I set up the website with all the little details to share with the guests and clicked publish. It was such a fun day. And then I used Zola and they had this great part of their website building tool where you could give, I'll just call them gentle gift suggestions for your guests.
Very just gentle, tasteful suggestions.
You can do a registry, of course, but we created one of those cash funds for our honeymoon with pictures of where we wanted to go. Plus, Zola's also there on the days when you feel like, forget it, I don't even want to have a wedding. I remember I had that moment. It was like this huge family debate about the seating options at the wedding and whether they had backs or not. I kid you not, benches versus chairs, like almost derailed the whole wedding.
What did you eventually choose?
It's complicated. Let's talk about Zola, which is much easier because even on those days when things were, complicated, there's the Zola community. It's a free and judgment-free community of other engaged couples who know exactly what you're going through.
If you're getting married or planning to get married, or you're already married and you're just finally getting around to planning a celebration, start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com. Oh my God, this might be my favorite razor wand ever. Veronica from New York, you rule. I've already added this brand's nail stickers to
cart. Play the razor wand before you start getting into it.
Okay, Veronica, let's play the razor wand. Oh my God.
Hi, this is Veronica from New York. I wanted to raise a wand and also say how much I love the show. I haven't noticed a ton of nail polish on the show, and I wanted to raise a wand to a nail polish I just discovered called Moon Cat. It is so cool. All the colors are so beautiful. They really are like art, and I thought that Jess, she loves all the skincare that's like art and then fragrances that are like art, might really love these colors. They are 10-free, they're vegan, they're cruelty-free. She donates some of the revenue to Save Cats. My favorite color is actually sold out. It's called Poisonberry, but there are so many other really creative and interesting colors, and I just love them. And so I hope that you all like them too. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, everybody go to Mooncat right now. www.mooncat.com.
They can't. They're using the app to listen to the podcast. So they can't switch over to the website.
Okay, when you're
Somebody
done,
needs to fix that with like a new kind of app. But anyway.
Go to mooncat.com.
We have it in the show notes, so it's going to be linked.
10% of all net proceeds benefit Koniko, which is like this cool cat charity, I'm guessing. I've already just put the Stay Curious Disney Alice in Wonderland nail art stickers in my cart. You will be seeing my fingers with them on our Instagram because I'm going to show them to you. They're nail polishes. You know that we show a lot of nail polishes. You know what? I'm going to double wand this one. I forfeit my wand.
You forfeit your wand for Mooncat.
For Mooncat.
I love that.
I forfeit my wand.
Our listeners know us. Well, 499 episodes in, I would imagine they do. But wow, they nailed it. Veronica, you were right. Jess is in love.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you because I actually have been thinking about this a lot. I don't know if I've let our listeners really know how much I appreciate them. And I don't know if this is like cringe or I don't know if this is like too whatever. There's been so much change like the past couple of months, like in the world and like media and craziness and all this. And I feel like in all of the change, like we started this like 7 years ago and the consistent thing in my life has been Fat Mascara. So it's like double wand to like our listeners and to Mooncat. You guys have been with us and it's just been amazing. I don't know if that's like too real.
I'm not
tearing
crying. You're
up.
crying.
No, I just want to be like, it's just, I feel like you guys have been so awesome and just have been sticking with us. And it's just like, I just really enjoy doing the show for you.
I totally agree. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, I just go listen to voicemails. They always cheer me up.
No, it's great. Like, you know, it's weird, but it's just like a really...
It's a nice community that we have here.
It's a nice community. And this, like, when I get something like this, or somebody is like literally reflecting back something that's like, yes, this is totally
they care.
The right thing.
Yeah. They get
so
us.
Anyway. Yeah.
You listen, your Razor wands don't have to be products just for us. They can be.
Yes, yeah.
But obviously you're sharing
like.
them because you think we'll like them. But make sure like you want to tell the whole family about it too, not just us. We want that. So still call us 646-481-8182 or email us. That one sounded really good because she emailed us a voice memo. So
yeah, that was perfect.
at fatmascara.com. Here we are, episode 499, nearing the end of the summer. Now's the time to get it in because we're going to be taking a little break. We'll talk about that on Friday. Just a tiny little break, but like it's appropriate. $4.99, 7 years. Send us your Razor wand if you haven't already. I see you out there. I know you've been listening and you're like, I'm not a participator. I'm not a joiner. Maybe you're more of a Jen. Like if they're doing it, I don't want to do it. But guess what? You should join with the Razor wands. You should call me.
It's like a very easy way.
Also, everybody's always calling with products for Jess, and I want some. Maybe I'm more like mysterious. So like I don't know what Jen would like.
I feel like something like earthy, very like woodsy, earthy. Like Jen's going upstate this weekend. Like what would like an upstate?
It's true. Well, maybe I'll raise my wand, and that'll inspire everybody. It's very science cornery this time. You guys have heard me rave about TNS Skin Medica, like my serum that like I cannot live without. It has epidermal growth factors and I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I understand it's such a stretch. It's $295. It's so expensive. So I'm always looking for ways to find growth factors that still work that are less money. And definitely this product is not billed as bargain growth factors by any means. In fact, I don't know why it is a bargain. It is built to mimic the Instafacial, Dr. Jason Diamond's Instafacial, which you can get like in his LA Fancy Pants office. He came out with this serum to mimic the facial. I've seen serums that mimic facials before. I've seen serums that pretend to mimic like filler, Botox, whatever. Not happy with them. I actually used this for 6 weeks because I was like, it's got a biomimetic growth factor, not a human-derived growth factor. I understand human-derived growth factors freak some people out. And you don't want that, but you would like the benefits of it, which I like because I can't take retinol. I can't really take vitamin C, but I want all of those collagen boosting, hyperpigmentation fighting ingredients, and growth factors are the ingredient that does that for me. So he has found out a way to mimic them with a plant-derived growth factor. It rivals my TNS. And that surprised me. And it also costs less. So I give it a Razor wand. And the reason I'm raising a wand to it right now is because he's our guest on Friday. I tried to get him, you'll see, I tried to get him to give the secret. I didn't really succeed on it. I was like, tell me how you made the biomimetic growth factors. And you'll see. But anyway, for now, if you are looking for an overall kind of, I'm just going to say it, an anti-ager. I have no problem with that product, that descriptor. You want your skin to look youthful. I get it. You want all of it. You don't know which one to get. It's too confusing. Just get this. Medicine Instafacial Plasma. It's like a red jelly kind of serum looking. Cool packaging if you're into that. But for me, it's really interesting because of these bio-identical or bio-like epidermal growth factors. So I'm raising a wand to that. Jess has forfeited her wand.
I forfeited to Mooncat.
So double wands to Mooncat and their poison berry polish and their nail stickers that you're getting.
Did I call it her poison berry? I was like, wait, I'm getting the stickers.
No. Veronica loves poison berry polish from Mooncat. So go take a nap. With a fan blowing across you, like a nice summer nap.
Sounds good.
Who doesn't want that right now? Maybe you're on the beach and you've already fallen asleep to our voices. For that, you're welcome. And we'll see you back here on Friday. We'll talk about some nerdy stuff. And that's that.
Love it. We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Raise the Wand product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out. Like your social security number or password.
Or you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year. Go to LifeLock.com/aware.
At Pennzoil, we have one job, pioneering a motor oil so advanced, you don't have to think about your motor oil. Instead, you can think about how your engine sounds, how your stomach feels as the RPMs build, how your wheels hug the curves, and how, with the Pennzoil Platinum up to 15-year, 500,000-mile protection guarantee, your adventures will be many. Pennzoil, long may we drive. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Enrollment required. Keep your receipts. Other conditions apply. See pennzoil.com/warranty for full details.
Hello, listener. This is Chris and Rosie Ramsey here, hosts of the Shagged, Married, Annoyed podcast.
Now, we've been podcasting for a few years now. 4 years.
Four,
you said
knocking
going
on
on
5.
Yeah. We absolutely love it. We really, really do. Not only, it gives us a chance to have a proper conversation without the kids. Stops we're looking at our phone all day.
Outside of this podcast, most of our lives is kids and looking at our phones. So yes, this is us living our best part of our lives.
Yeah, we've had so much fun doing it. We've built a lovely community with you guys listening right now as well.
We have indeed. Now, if you ever thought about starting your own podcast, we cannot recommend it enough. And the perfect place to start yours is with Acast. Acast have got it all. One-click sharing to all listening apps, market-leading insights and monetization through advertising, lucrative sponsorships and subscriptions.
Start or switch your podcast to Acast to join the same network as us and 92,000 more shows that love Acast as well.
92,000.
Mm-hmm.
Join Acast with a 3-month free trial using the code SMA, that's SMA. Just visit go.acast.com/join.